first of all, after watching the Last Dance documentary, we got to see Jordan and his undefeated streak in the finals. A lot of debate was on Twitter about, how it doesn't matter if Jordan is 6-0 and LeBron is 3-6 because LeBron is still greater. Some people believe that. And there's a lot of excuses, or maybe they're validated excuses being made for LeBron not winning the finals, either injured players or whatever it may be. So I'm going to start with you, Riv. Are too many excuses being made for LeBron James not winning in the NBA Finals?
I thought I was going to go second. I wasn't ready for that. Yes, I do believe there's too many excuses to be named for LeBron, and let me explain why. So, LeBron is a great player. In my eyes, he's the second greatest player ever. In most smart people's eyes, he's a top 5 player all time. Right. And there's no denying the fact that basketball is a team sport. Everybody has to contribute for you to get the championship. The best teams usually win. The most stacked teams usually win. But LeBron gets too many excuses for why he doesn't perform or why he loses. I'm going to use James Harden for an example. James Harden plays the Juggernaut Warriors, or the Warriors before Kevin Durant, probably almost every year in his playoff career. LeBron has played the Juggernaut Warriors around the same time as James Harden. James Harden takes them to 6 games and 7 games respectively. LeBron with Kyrie won a game. LeBron by himself got swept. James Harden puts up, I think we all can agree, puts up pretty great numbers against a top 3 defense in the league. LeBron puts up great numbers against the top 3 defense in the league. LeBron, he doesn't have enough help. It's not his fault. He still performs. The narrative for James Harden, he choked. He didn't perform. He can't win. Stuff like that. That's an example for why LeBron gets too many excuses. The 2007 finals, which everybody claims, oh, that team wasn't good. Yeah, okay. Offensively, they weren't good. They were a pretty good defense. I was rewatching that finals, and the Spurs beat them by an average margin of 6 points per game. Now, a juggernaut team like that compared to the Cavs, you would expect them to blow them out, right? Well, no. All the games were pretty close. The reason why they were losing was because, honestly, LeBron played pretty poorly. Regardless of the team, LeBron individually as the player, he played horrible. But his excuse was their team is too good. LeBron can't do what he got to do. Well, as a great player individually, you can lose the game but still perform admirably. There should be no excuse for you performing poorly and your team losing. If you perform to what you need to be performed to and your team loses, well, then it's like, all right, but that's understandable. 2007, he played horrible. His team wasn't going to win the series, but he still could have put on a show. His team played horrible. He played horrible. 2011, finals. Oh, my God. He played horrible. And people rightly blamed him for that. 2012, he played great. 2013, he played great. Even against the Cavs, there were a few bad games. Against the Celtics, pardon me. Game 5 against the Celtics, he didn't play that well. Game 6 in Boston, Game 5, he didn't play that well at all. But the blame was, his team isn't good enough. Then he wins. LeBron is that great. There's too many excuses being placed on his name, and that's not cool, and I don't like that.
JC, do you agree with what River just said?
No, other than the 2011. I agree with River on that one. That was probably one of the worst. That probably was the worst performance in the finals by a superstar ever, especially with the stature that LeBron has. So, I mean, if you're a real LeBron fan, you really can't sit here and defend that type of performance against the Dallas Mavericks, which was the only finals that he actually had a team that was actually favored to win. So 2011, all on him, completely on him. He would have played even the slightest bit of better, they would have won. But as far as the 2007 one, he was 21. He was 21. He was 21 years old. Okay. Now, Riv, I saw the stats the other day. He averaged 22.7 rebounds, 5 assists. Do you know what the next player on that team averaged? Who's supposed to be help? So I agree LeBron could have played a little better, but don't sit here and act like he had help.
Who's the next best scorer?
Larry Hughes.
Do you know what do you know?
He averaged 13 points.
Do you know why Larry Hughes averaged 13 points? If you watch the series, I need you to go rewatch it. They tell it very early in game one. Larry Hughes was dealing.
They had one of the best perimeter defenders of all time in Bruce Bowen, and everybody game planning for LeBron because who else are you going to get game plan besides LeBron? Larry Hughes? Nobody there is.
The Warriors game plan.
But that's LeBron 10 years later. That's a 21-year-old or 22-year-old.
The Warriors game plan against James Harden. And what does he still do?
LeBron. There's a difference. There's like a decade gap between that finals and the one that you're talking about with the Warriors. Of course, LeBron's gotten better. That was his first. He was 21, 22 years old in his fourth season.
So you're saying.
So he should have. I agree, he could have played better. But my question to you is, where was his help?
What is his? Okay.
That's just my only question.
Here's the thing. Him. You asking where's his help? Just means they didn't have enough help to win the game. Him putting up 22 points a game on poor efficiency has nothing to do with his help.
But you said they lost every game by like a few points. So maybe if somebody or a couple
somebody or LeBron.
Up, no, if maybe a couple other players stepped up, maybe they.
You feel me, Joel? Somebody or LeBron.
So JC, let me ask you this because let's shift away from that series against the Spurs in 2007 and let's talk about recently because that's what everybody loves talking about.
2018?
When he lost to the Warriors in 2015 and lost to them 2 times in a row when they got Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. So are too many excuses being made for those losses, JC? Because I know you have a very passionate opinion about LeBron's performances.
Wait. I want to, before you continue, JC, I want to also say this. 2015 finals when Kyrie and K-Love go down. The excuse is if Kyrie and K-Love play, they win, right? Right, Joel? You've heard that a lot, right?
Yeah.
But nobody talks about how Boston, who they played the 7 games, also didn't have, just like the Cavs in 2015, Boston didn't have Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. But the whole woo-ha is, yeah, LeBron is the best. He beat that team in 7 games. But the same thing that y'all say about 2015 is the same about that Boston Celtics team. They didn't have Kyrie. And
what happened the next year, Riv, when Kyrie was healthy? What happened the next year?
You can't compare that. They had the
same team and they had Kyrie
healthy. You
healthy.
can't compare that, though.
I'm not comparing you.
Those two teams weren't the same.
I'm just asking you what happened the next year when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward were healthy. I just want to know.
They lost to the Bucks. That's fair. But
they lost to the Bucks in 5, right?
Yeah, but the rule still applies. If you're going to
at the time, weren't there people saying that the Celtics, wasn't there a whole narrative that the Celtics were better without Kyrie?
Yeah, that narrative that year proved it. But this is how I know you. The year before, they were thriving with Kyrie. They were a top 2 seed in the league.
Kyrie went down.
It was all thriving. Kyrie gets hurt, doesn't play. Mm-hmm. Even he doesn't play. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown realize what they are. But that has nothing to do with the fact that 7 games, Boston goes in and plays without their 2 star players. You're talking about LeBron is 22. Wait. You're talking about LeBron. Joel, what did you just say? LeBron was 22 in that 2007 finals, right?
21.
How old was Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Terry Rozier when they played LeBron? About 21, 22, around there. They were young.
Pretty much, yeah.
Excuse should still be applied. There should be no excuses.
I mean, if we're being honest, I think the Celtics had a better overall team than the Cavs that year. That's just my opinion. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, let's just talk about the finals right now.
Okay.
Let's talk about him.
What was your question again? So you want me to elaborate on 2015? I don't know how anybody doesn't think that if you have Kyrie Irving, at least Kyrie, and then you add Kevin Love, I don't know how you think that they could win that championship when he took a couple games with Dellavedova. Obviously, the lack of talent caught up, and the Warriors were the better overall team. So, I think 2015, I think it's safe to say that they lost because of injuries. I don't know what you think, Riv. What do you think about their loss in 2015?
So, let me get this straight. Let me just bottle it up. We're gonna sit there and we're gonna sit there and give praise. We're gonna praise a man for losing. We're gonna praise him for losing. But then take blame. Don't give him blame just because of injuries. When injuries are a part of the game, everybody gets it happens. It's the
How many times did somebody walk into the finals with their second and third best player injured?
He didn't walk into the finals with his second and third best. He walked in with his third best player.
Kyrie
got hurt game one. It was a tragedy.
He got game one. Kevin Love dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah, he walked in. First of all, he walked in without his.
He didn't get a full game from Kyrie Irving, right?
Kyrie got hurt in the fourth, but okay.
That's not a full game, bro. That's not a full game.
I mean, okay, it's not a full game.
That's not a full game with your second.
It's not,
player.
But I also think that the point about Kevin Love, about not having Kevin Love, I mean, many people dismiss Kevin Love even when he's playing.
Exactly.
I mean, we're talking about that particular finals. That would have been what? That would have been his first time in the finals, right? Kevin Love, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the next 2 years, I mean, he didn't really play well. 2017, I mean, 2017, it's just you added Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. I mean, it's not really an excuse. I mean, I think LeBron played well in all three of those finals. It just Kevin Durant, Steph Curry was just too much of a powerhouse. It was just too much of a powerhouse. Nobody could beat them. And then 2018, he walked in with George Hill, J.R. Smith, Larry Nance, Tristan Thompson, and Kevin Love, who didn't play that good in that finals, averaged only 15 and 10 on like 41% shooting. So, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with just the lack of talent. I think 2017, they could have won more games. A lot of games came down to the wire, but they ended up just losing those games. But you look at the 2017 finals, it definitely should have been closer than a 4-1 series. I think it could have easily gone 6 or maybe even 7. The ball bounces a couple.
So why do we give him excuses for winning one game with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love?
Excuses?
Yeah.
Because he balled out and he played the best that he could.
But then so why
averaged like 35. He led both teams in every category in that finals again.
He did, but he also in his home
to ever do that.
down 2-1 in his home. You probably don't notice. Last 3 minutes of the fourth in his home, him and Kyrie combined for 0 for 8 and 4 turnovers, and they could have won that game. Game 4.
I said they could have won that game
when KD hit the 3. Yeah, but we're gonna blame that on the lack of talent.
I mean, nah, can't blame that on lack of talent.
You're very. When you talk about James Harden, it's like, no, he doesn't show up against the juggernauts. But
me, you're the one that says that more than me.
Wait, why don't you apply the same LeBron to James Harden? James Harden runs to the same team runs into. But you don't apply the same logic as James Harden.
I'm not even going to lie.
LeBron put the numbers.
OD.
Rev, you're breaking up a lot.
You keep skipping OD. I didn't hear anything you said.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. All I heard was James Harden, and then you just skipped.
All right, hold on. I gotta get close to Wi-Fi. Come on, like.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I didn't hear shit.
Me neither.
I was like, what the hell?
All I heard was,
I can hear me now.
Keep talking. Yeah, just ask me what you asked me.
That's just mad activity going on out there.
I was gonna say, like, to combine with that, you just added Kevin Durant to a 73-win team. So I mean, that's not fair within itself. But hey, I mean, if you think that's fair, you don't think that team's OP. I don't know.
Apply the same rules you apply with LeBron with everybody else when they play the juggernauts.
But James Harden hasn't won any championships. He hasn't done any of that. So you're telling me to hold James Harden in the same stature as LeBron. That's what you're telling me to do, Rib. That's not what Joel. That's what you're telling me to do.
Joel's face.
Joel, that's what you're telling me to do. I'm not speaking to Joel. I'm speaking to you.
He looks a little disrespectful. You try to say that.
No, the reason why is I think if a player is better, you should make less excuses.
Exactly. If James Harden shouldn't be held to that high standard, there shouldn't be this many excuses for LeBron James.
It honestly feels like James Harden is held to the highest standard in the league.
I'm an advocate of saying that if Chris Paul played and he didn't get hurt, the Rockets had a really
You're also an advocate of James
you
Harden.
heard me say that before.
You are also an advocate.
James Harden chokes more than me.
You are also an advocate of saying that James Harden doesn't show up against the Warriors. That's what you've said that before. Yeah, if you look at his numbers and you look at LeBron's numbers.
So all right, so then I'll take another look. I'll compare James Harden's regular season, everything he does, to when he faces them in the playoffs, and then I'll go from there.
It's about the excuses. If you're gonna say that team is unbeatable, say the same thing for James Harden when he plays them. It should be the same way. Should be the same way.
I said if he had Chris Paul, I think they would have won.